Nasa go merere te lawa, go ngai tabua, ando talita kana varronga na Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Yandavanaka, Fiji. In this bulletin, Church says no inquiry into reports of alleged sexual abuse. Tourism operators hope for relief policies, and ministries expect reduced funding.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Catholic Church of Fiji will not conduct an inquiry into reports of alleged sexual abuse of children after allegations surfaced in a report by TVNZ's One News. Head of the Catholic Church in Fiji, Archbishop Peter Loy Chong, says the claims reported by One News were well before his time, and he believes there will not be sufficient records to conduct a proper inquiry. The Archbishop says the Church hasn't received any reports of sexual abuse of children since he took office in 2013. Australian clergyman Father Julian Fox, convicted of sexually and physically abusing boys in Australia, was sent to Fiji in 1999 after police started investigating him. Fox served here until 2003. The Minister for Local Government and Housing does not expect an increase for her two portfolios in the 2020-2021 budget allocation on Friday. Pramila Kumar says their submission for funding focuses on completing several capital projects. The two ministries have prepared submissions based on Fiji's current economy, knowing that funds are needed in more urgent areas. Kumar is hopeful of enough money to run the First Home Grant and other housing-related initiatives. She also wants to put funding towards streamlining systems and removing corruption. The Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association hopes the new budget will provide some relief support for operators to minimize the impacts of COVID-19. Association Chief Executive Fantasha Lockington says the past 3 months have been devastating, forcing operators to make tough decisions. Lockington says members of the association hope the budget will address 3 key areas and reduce expenses. The tourism industry has been the worst affected by COVID-19, and operators believe cutting costs will help improve their packages.
Some of this is obviously going to be looking forward to some relief from import duties and taxes. This will allow tourism businesses to offer more value for money in terms of what they can do, so they can reduce their costs if the import duties on some of these items that they rely on, and they can provide better packaging options.
Considering the safety and well-being of the travelling public is a priority for the Fiji Roads Authority in the next financial year. Outgoing Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says they've made their submission and the authority will work on improving road rehabilitation and accessibility to guarantee satisfaction among the travelling public. The authority is currently rehabilitating roads in the Greater Suva area that is due for completion next month.
I hope come early August, people in Suva, for example, will see the benefit of what we're doing now on rehabilitating roads rather than constantly trying to repair potholes. So we want to maximise the rehabs, maintain public safety and accessibility.
Work has started on upgrade of the LABASA airport runway. The airport was closed yesterday and all flights will be redirected to the SAVUSAVU airport. According to Fiji Airports, the upgrade includes the resealing of more than 1,000 metres of runway surface and will take about 3 weeks to complete. The apron, where aircrafts are parked, unloaded and loaded, is also being extended. This portion of work will continue until September. The LABASA airport is the last Outer Islands airport network to receive an upgrade. The airports at Bureta and Levuka and Lakemba and Lao were upgraded last year. Earlier this year, upgrade works were conducted at the Vunisea airport in KEAN. Fiji Corrections Service Commander Francis KEAN believes religious organizations play an instrumental role in the rehabilitation and behavioral changes of inmates. The Corrections Service yesterday signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Under the agreement, the church will be providing counselling to the inmates. Commander KEAN says apart from engaging with the provincial councils in the formation of a KEAN network, the Corrections Service also values its engagement with various religious denominations.
It is a mammoth task, a big task, a task that will require a whole-of-nation effort. We at the Fiji Correction Service cannot undertake this rehabilitation process alone. That's why we are very thankful to our good friends from the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Questions are being raised about how to apply for Phase 2 of the Fiji National Provident Fund COVID-19 withdrawal, which can only be done online. Concerns have been raised as to how members will be able to apply if they don't have access to the internet. However, the fund has set up a platform to assist Fijians. Fund's Chief Executive, Chochi Koroi, says the payments are made fortnightly as of June 23rd and ends on the 18th of the next month.
Yes, we have a whole platform in front of our office to try and onboard members who don't have that facilities. So we are dedicating resources to make sure that we bring our members along in terms of this journey.
Up ahead, FRU AGM on Saturday and women's cricket a hit.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
The Fiji Rugby Union has circulated its annual report to members ahead of its annual general meeting on Saturday. The meeting will be chaired by FRU President and Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama. Chief Executive John O'Connor says they look forward to the AGM and discussing last year's reports, including those submitted by national coaches.
I think the main discussions will be the reports from last year and more importantly the financial reports, the audited accounts, which will be, in terms of the agenda, that will be the main agenda for discussions. Annual reports, reports from different coaches.
Defending women's skipper champion TAILEVU have been facing financial difficulties while other teams are continuing their preparations. The Skipper Cup kicks off on the 25th of this month when Suva faces Nandronga and TAILEVU takes on Namosi. TAILEVU Women's Rugby President Taina Tangivakimbao says they have had to rely on their own funding as they prepare for the Skipper Cup. Tangivakimbao adds the shortage of money has not deterred TAILEVU's training towards ensuring they retain their title.
We have been relying entirely on a donation from our own people. The little bit of money that comes in from the FRA, they take their cut. It's a regime that they have to follow. They have been following, and there's a lot of physical activities going on. They are training.
Cricket Fiji will select an under-19 squad after the completion of the T10 Women's Bulla Bash League. The Women's League started last weekend with a lot of new talent on show. Cricket Fiji is now planning to have an under-19 squad with the hope of some competition with Samoa and Vanuatu.
3 different squads, so there's no under-19 World Cup for the women, but to have a national under-19 squad is one of our aims, to feed the national squad. They'll train together, but we're looking to work with our counterparts in Vanuatu and Samoa to have some under-19 women's games, and hopefully that will lead on to more under-19 games in the East Asia Pacific region.
A quick look at the weather map for today. It is Wednesday, the 15th of July. Expect cloudy periods with some showers that can be expected over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Fine weather is expected to prevail elsewhere. Make sure to keep warm during the day and especially at night, as it is expected to be more cool from the evening onwards. Now, if you're going out to sea, please keep in mind there will be moderate to fresh southeast winds and moderate to rough seas. And that was your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.